Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I'm so glad you're here. You guys, we got a response from ESPN, and if you're expecting anything at all from them, well, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Then again, that same could be said for Harry and Meghan. You guys, I'm here to talk about this. We got a big middle finger from ESPN. And yeah, that's not really a shocker, but I think we should read it and talk about what it means. But here to talk about all this with me, to break it all down with me, is my favorite middle finger giver in life. Say hello. I don't know what that means.
Hey everybody, this is Jay, also known as Dr. Bad Vibes, everybody's favorite sports analyst, but not really. I'm here to help talk about this nonsense about sports ball awards, the ESPYs. You may have been following what's been going on, so there's a little bit of an update.
All right, this one comes out of Sports Illustrated, not one often quoted on this channel, but it says ESPN responds to criticism over Prince Harry receiving Pat Tillman Award. Of course, I've done several videos about this and how awful it is, and ESPN has now responded over the huge backlash, rightly so faced by the doofus. ESPN, with the support of the Tillman Foundation, is honoring Prince Harry, that one, specifically for the work of the Invictus Games Foundation as it celebrates its 10th year promoting healing through the power of sport for military service members and veterans around the world. While we understand not everyone will agree with all honorees selected for any award, the Invictus Games Foundation does incredible work, and ESPN believes this is a cause worth celebrating, the network said in a statement via Michael David Smith of Pro Football Talk. That's a giant middle finger to all of us. Let's talk about this. All right, ESPN, I see what you're doing. You're doing the same thing Harry and Meghan do. You're using Invictus to hide behind. That's what they do too. As soon as people point out, hey, grifters, we don't know anything about the servicemen and women because you're making it all about yourselves. Now, ESPN is basically doing the same thing, saying, oh, sorry, you guys, like virtue signaling, like, oh, sorry, you guys have a problem. We stand behind Invictus. We don't have a problem with Invictus per se. I have a problem with who they're picking as their spokesperson. And yes, I am saying spokesperson. A lot of people are still laboring under the misapprehension that it was Harry's thing he started. He did not start this. But this is not his. He's just, it's somebody, I think it was Shauna in the Vintage Reach pointed out, he is a patron. Patrons don't normally accept awards like this. They give out the awards to people who do good for things like this. So this whole thing is so backwards and convoluted, just like Harry and Meghan, and their response is equally as, well, convoluted.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is arguing that the problem is that veterans or veterans being helped is the issue here. I think it's the attention that's being taken away from them by these megalomaniacs. I mean, it's unfortunately what's happened with many charities, that don't actually do anything under the guise of helping people. I mean, the speculation is sometimes some of these awards in general, especially when you get involved in entertainment, Hollywood, etc., they're pay to play. So maybe ESPN's saying, "Hey, the check's already cashed. Sorry." Speculating. The main issue is not the award or what it stands for per se, but who it's going to. So, the award that established in 2014, the Pat Tillman Award for Service, it's supposed to honor an individual with a strong connection to sports who has served others in a way that echoes Tillman's legacy of service, integrity, and courage. Not synonyms I would put with Harry. I mean, we've talked about this in some of the other videos in the live stream. He is the antithesis of Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman being somebody who sacrificed wealth and personal gain to serve his country and help others, whereas Harry turned his back on his country and family to seek wealth and personal gain and help himself. And I mean, I guess you can argue a connection to sports because Invictus is sports, but he's not the one directly helping anybody. And out of all the people that could have gotten that, and if this indeed is pay to play, I mean, that would explain a lot. I mean, we touched about some of the previous recipients, and I'm a pro wrestling fan, but WWE through Triple H got the award last year, I believe. And you may recall, if you're familiar with WWE, that Stephanie McMahon, Triple H's wife, she was caught on microphone at one point. It was a meeting where she described philanthropy as the new form of advertising, a new form of PR.
I forgot.
Yeah, that was a pretty horrendous thing they caught on mic, and they may be taking a page out of that book. It's like their public image is so bad. It's like, let's just try to get all these awards that make us look less awful.
It's just a slap in the face. And obviously his mother has been very vocal about it, and we've been very vocal about it, and so many people. And again, instead of ESPN addressing that, they're twisting it and they're making it seem like we're being unreasonable by protest, or you know what I mean, by peacefully protesting this. Like, you may not like our choices, but we believe in this because of this. It's like, no, you're ignoring. It's a page out of Harry and Meghan's book. You're ignoring the issue. You're ignoring why we're protesting this. And instead, you're just saying like, oh, we believe in Invictus. Well, cool. Like Jay said, it would be hard to argue with the idea of helping wounded soldiers and a great cause like that. But it's how it's being handled. It's how Harry and Meghan handle Invictus we have a problem with. It's how ESPN, through the ESPYs, is handling it that we're having a problem with. It's ridiculous.
It's just like that photo that flashed earlier with Meghan, where she cut in front of the actual soldiers. Mm-hmm. It's taking attention away from them. I think that's a big part of the issue here. If they want to give it into Invictus Games and what it's supposed to stand for, that's fine, but why give it to Harry? There's plenty of veterans that have been involved in Invictus Games. Give it to one of them. Yeah. I'm sure there's somebody behind the scenes that's not even for seeking attention, but just recognition. Yeah. Somebody that's actually done something directly.
Absolutely. Well, and to add on to that, I watched that train wreck of I talked about in the other video, the Netflix We Are Invictus thing. And again, I mean, they had to cut Meghan out because I think there was such strong backlash there. But it was all about the Harry show. He made it all about himself. We still don't know. There was one that we got to learn a little bit more about. But mostly we really didn't learn too much about soldiers then. So it's the complete wrong focus. It's the wrong focus of Herald and Fraud. It's the wrong focus of ESPN, and I agree with Jay. I think it's all about the paycheck. Now, I talk about this in the Patreon. I'll go ahead and say here, I have seen your comments saying that, and I'm not talking crap about other YouTubers. I love the idea and the theories, but I've seen the theory going around that, oh, he needs this award for his visa. I don't think it's that. I think Smugly is not worried about anything. I think he thinks he's a shoo-in. And honestly, I'm not going to get into politics, but I think I understand why he feels that way, because nobody seems to want to question him on his antics. And so to me, I think he's just so full of himself. He doesn't think that'll be a problem. So I can't imagine he's worried about it or thinking that this will help him. He'll just find another award to buy if that's the case. I think this is all to distract, in my opinion, from the evidence destroying stuff that he's being accused of, in the UK. So who knows? They're so terrible and so crooked. It's really hard to say at this point what they're trying to distract us from. I just think this is real dumb. I think this whole thing is real dumb. I've been outraged and now I'm just pissed. So ESPN is going to ignore. I say we all ignore ESPN then and not give them the views or the clicks. I'll report about it, but I wouldn't watch it. They're busy insulting the rest of us. Meanwhile, this petition at the time of this recording, this is Monday evening, has hit 36,000 signatures.
So unsurprisingly, the company that's owned by Disney is telling us that we're wrong, that we don't know what we're talking about, and this is why they're right. Is it any shock that financial things for Disney have not been going well? I mean, ESPN's under that umbrella, and even one of ESPN's own, I don't know if he's a direct employee or contract or whatever, Pat McAfee, his podcast, he was critical of ESPN themselves, as he works for them. I mean, people are unhappy with this. It seems like a very simple thing to fix. I mean, just take Harry out of the equation. It's like, how do you take a charity with the most, universal cause that everyone would be sympathetic towards, helping out wounded veterans, and screwing it up? And then it's like they're doing this and putting him at the front of it again. It's just it's kind of sick. Like he's just trying to make it all about.
I just don't understand why anybody at this point would want to work with either of these grifters. What do they add to anything? That's what I ask. Thank you guys so much for watching. Jay, tell everyone when you're not trying to steal focus for yourself from wounded warriors or wounded veterans, where to find you.
Check out my mushroom coffee. It tastes like crap.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch streaming and putting up videos. And thanks to everybody that showed up to the latest stream. That was very successful, and I had a fun time. Check it out on Dr. Bad Vibes Speaks on YouTube and twitch.tv/Dr. Bad Vibes, where we have fun and talk about stuff.
You can find me right here talking about stuff. You guys, thank you so much. Please do chime in the comments. What do you think of ESPN's statement? I'm rolling my eyes so hard at that. It's not really a statement. It's more of a middle finger. What do you think of all of this? What do you think of the grifters, as always? Thank you guys so much for watching. You know we appreciate it. And as more comes out about this, we'll talk about it. I hope you have the best day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.